Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Celebrity Catwalk. If you're watching us on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, thanks for tuning in. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that little like and subscribe button down below so that you'll be up to date on all of the episodes. Well, we have a very, very special guest with us today, straight off of the small screen on Viceland TV. The show is My House. We have an incredible guest, Tatiana, aka Tati 007, aka the official Tati.
Yes.
Tati, I cannot thank you enough for being here, for being so accommodating.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story. For those that don't know, Tati is a transgender model slash superstar slash actress.
Yes.
Absolutely stunning.
Thank
and
you.
I guess we should start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You were very transparent and really very wonderful, which is where I really fell in love with you on My House, in discussing your story and your relationship with your mom.
Yes.
So maybe we can start there and start with, when did you feel like things weren't quite right, and the whole process? Please tell your story from the very, very beginning.
Okay, well, I would say ever since I was young, I felt like there was something wrong with me, but I just didn't know like what exactly it was. So it wasn't until I found the LGBTQ ballroom culture in which I found I could actually transition and be the woman that I felt inside.
Incredible. And how has it, we saw your relationship with your mom at times was strained, and I guess she felt like she had missed out on a son,
Yeah.
or really wanted a son. How has that evolved? Has that helped? Was being on the show, do you feel that helped your relationship?
I always felt like my mother loved me with all her heart, and she was just always scared. And like, she just wanted to look out for my best interest. And being that she grew up in a strong heterosexual household, she naturally just wanted me to be that ideal man of the household. But that was just something that wasn't in me. So I feel like now, since the show and since we've been able to like grow closer together, like she fully understands, and she just knows that her child is doing good in the world.
That's all that really matters. You are doing incredible, and you're setting such an incredible example. Please tell us a little bit about at what age did you, or at what point did you transition, and how do you feel like it was as difficult transitioning then as it is now? Is it getting easier with time?
I started transitioning when I was 17. I do feel like it's a little easier now because there's like more resources to like hormones and surgery, and just being able to be more accepted within like the workplace and being trans. So I do feel like now is like better now.
It's better now.
Yeah.
And how is dating? You've got to spill the tea and give us all the juice on that. And at some point, folks, we have to get Tati's fabulous. I forgot. I am remiss. If we can get those fabulous shoes, those blood shoes, those red bottoms. Yes. We've got to get all that. Her red bottoms. Yes. Thank you. Please, Tati, share the dating and how is that?
I mean, dating while trans is like hard because it's like you come across guys who they're scared to be comfortable with themselves and the type of lifestyle that they live. And I'm just not a big fan of being like over sexualized by guys, and I just feel like sometimes that's what they want more instead of like a serious commitment.
And that's interesting that you say that, because as you well know, that's one of the reoccurring themes on the new hit pop sensation on FX, Pose.
Right.
Where it's kind of you're a novelty, or you
Yeah.
are someone, like you said, to kind of be put on a shelf, or men like the novelty or the uniqueness of you, as opposed to just looking at you as a woman.
Right.
So you find that even though that's coming from a scripted show, that is true in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they capture that narrative like on point.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So it is so, and also now, to me, you have another layer of it because you have the show. And so now it's not only that you are so unique, if you will, or like you said, can easily be over sexualized, but now you also have been on a television show. You're a
Right.
reality.
Yeah.
So it must be.
It's like over the top. I try to like just like stay away from that. But I mean, I know there are guys out there that genuinely like trans women and appreciate them for what they are.
Okay.
But I just feel like it's rare. It's like it's very rare for you to even like come across like a man that can be like committed and just be like real vulnerable within that moment and just love you for who you are.
And what is your type of guy, if you had to?
I like a lot of things. It's always a plus if he's handsome.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like mandatory, but I'm like a big fan on like independent guys, guys who are very stable. They're just very, how would I say? Like they have values and just
Yes.
like, they just know how to cater to a woman and the ideal things that a guy should be.
Yes. So you really go through the same dating, you know, as cliched as it may sound, you go through the same dating issues as any other woman.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing. It's tough. It's hard.
It's tough out here in the
It's
streets.
tough out here, yes. Yes. Now, you spend a great deal of time, I don't want to say working in clubs, but the whole ballroom scene. Do you still go out, or what's your idea of?
I love to like go out and have a good time
Okay.
and party. I love to dance, so
Yes.
I love to go out and just
Right.
boogie the night away.
Okay, so you do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And are you meeting guys when you're out?
Occasionally, but I don't really be paying them no mind. Like
Okay.
if they do come up to me, I kind of brush them off because I'm
Yes.
just like, I don't know. I think it's just like so cliche for you to be in the club and then it just doesn't feel right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, coming fresh off of My House, how was the whole reality TV experience? I'm sure that you have a lot of good, juicy tidbits, or you don't even have to give juicy tidbits. How was that experience in general?
The experience was really awesome. I was a little skeptical at first, going into like the whole reality TV thing and just putting my whole life on the television to be scrutinized by so many people. That was like my biggest fear. I knew that I would have to bring my mother up there and everything. So I was just like, I was very skeptical, but I'm glad I did it because I feel like my story has touched a lot of people and a lot of LGBT youth. I've received a lot of inspiring messages and just,
Really?
I just felt like my story needed to be told, and I'm glad that it was received in the way that it was.
I don't know if I could be as brave as you were and are. What was there something inside of you that made you be able to be so transparent and tell your story on TV in front of the world to see? Was it a decision that you made beforehand? I just feel like you really laid your soul bare and really told your story. And did you have to kind of screw up the courage, or was it something that just came naturally?
I would say that it was a point in time that I was just like, I was okay with just living my life under the radar and just being passable and just living a regular life. But I felt like with this opportunity, I was able to do something that was bigger than me and just stand for something and just ultimately just have a purpose in life.
That's still very easy for you to say,
Yeah.
but as you know, that's extremely difficult because you are so, I guess the word is passable. You are absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And absolutely amazing. I should look like this when I get up in the morning, and I truly do not. You look amazing.
Thank you.
So for you to, you really laid your soul bare and told your story, and that's wonderful that you are getting messages, and you are a wonderful, I don't know how you feel about being a role model, because I know that comes with good and bad.
Yeah, it comes with a lot.
It comes with a lot. I know lots of people say, I didn't ever sign up to be a role model. You're like, what happened? But do you still hear, so there are still young people who are not being accepted by their families or friends. Do you find that? And do you find people who come to you with those issues?
Yeah, I've actually spoken to like a lot of people that, because on my social media, I make sure like I respond, and I just give love back to those who reach out and give love to me. So I've come across a couple cases where it's still in the household, just because it's like, you know, it's more open now and it's more in your face. It's like it still happens, and it's unfortunate, but I don't know. I think within time that we can grow, and like we can just become more compassionate to the differences that we have, but I just feel like those don't make us indifferent.
Yes. So you do say that, it's getting easier for the LGBT youth now than it was, I guess, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We're seeing that also on Pose, the show, where obviously in the 80s it was extremely difficult. Yeah. And I hope we can see you on Pose. Let us know if we need to start a letter writing campaign, or if there's something that we need to do.
We'll see soon.
Okay, you'll have to. I'll keep stalking you and keep you posted on.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Keep our fingers crossed in what we can do. Yeah. So, as someone who is obviously able to relate to that life, do you feel that it's ringing fairly true to you?
Yeah, I feel like Ryan Murphy really did his homework and used his resources. He's actually reached out to people that are actually proactive within the scene. So I feel like the narratives that they bring to the TV is like, it's very on point. It's very true to self. Okay. And yeah.
Okay, that is good.
I actually love the show because it's like being able to see like so many talented like trans actors and all my trans sisters. It's just like, it's a beautiful thing.
Nice, absolutely. Now, we haven't even discussed your whole ball life. For those that don't know, Tati is iconic in the ball. Well, I shouldn't say you don't know, because you're so, okay, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Okay, she is almost. She is almost, as one of my girlfriends would say, she is kissing the iconic. She's that close to icon status. And you got a little taste of that on My House. Yeah. And we saw on My House with your storyline that you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we picked you up on My House, were you just leaving the house? I think maybe you had already left, because you were Tati 007. Okay, so you had already left the house.
I left that winter, and we started filming the next year.
Okay, so you had already left the house. Are there advantages, I guess, to both, to being in a house and not being in a house, would you say?
I would say the advantages of being in a house is just having that family surround you and just having that support within the ballroom scene and outside of the ballroom scene. The disadvantages, I would say, would be not having them and just like doing everything yourself. But it's just like it's difficult. It's really difficult.
Do you miss
like a
being in a
full-time
house?
job. I do miss being in a house. I miss being in a house a lot. It's something that, like, when I choose a house, I make sure like we're able to be a family and like we ride for each other like the same way. So it is difficult being alone and just being a 007 and walking these balls and just going against the competition and being out there, and it's just like no one's chanting for you.
But I see. I disagree though, because I feel like you're getting so much love.
That as well. But when you're in a house and then you go to just being a 007, it's a huge transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think, are you still on the show? We saw that you were considering houses. Yeah. Are you still considering houses?
I'm still.
How do you feel at this point in your life?
I'm still feeling everything out. I want to make sure when I do go to a house, it's a perfect fit for me. Right. So.
And would you start your own house? Maybe I should, especially with Pose. And would you start your own?
I don't know. That's a pretty big job, and I'm just trying to handle myself, so I couldn't imagine handling dozens of kids.
Right.
So I mean, if I was to do that, I would really have to have a strong team behind me.
Okay.
So we can just be a force.
Okay. Because I do feel like you are such an example, and for lack of a better word, role model for young people. And to me, you stand for more than trans. You really just stand for truth. You stand for living in your truth, regardless of what that is. So I feel, I know I'm putting a lot on, your shoulders are probably getting heavy as I'm laying all this on you, but I feel, as you well know, as we all know, there's so many people struggling with so much internally. So for you to be so open and so free with who you are and what you needed to do to get to where you felt 100% comfortable with yourself, I feel like you could start a house and be an incredible role model, or even joining a house, because I don't think you have to necessarily start your own house to do that. But your story is so universal in terms with coming to terms with yourself. Have you always been this open, or do you feel, did something kind of click one day where you felt like your story needed to be told and you became open, or was it a gradual process?
I think it was a gradual process, because when I was in my past life, I was always shy and timid, and I didn't feel until I stepped into my womanhood that I actually grasped and gained the confidence. So I do feel like transitioning has played a big role in me being so open and strong, and just being able to share my story. And that's really why I shared my story, because I was hoping that me being transparent, and I hope that someone would take that and just use that as something, as a push.
No, you're inspiring. Like I said, I stalked you from the time I saw the show because I was so interested and so attracted to your openness and your willingness to tell your story, and your being so comfortable. I should be so comfortable with myself. You are so comfortable and open with yourself and your story. And I think that we are still, as you well know, living in a closeted time when people are not. And you didn't have to tell your story. You could walk around and you absolutely pass and not say anything to anyone. So I feel like it was very selfless of you to be so open and to be so transparent and be so forthcoming with everything that you've been through. So would you say that everything is behind you and it's easy, or is it still, or is the struggle still real? Do you still have do you still struggle with things, or, because to look at you would be like, you don't have a problem or a care in the world. Do you still find yourself struggling, or maybe the struggles of others, does that kind of rub off on you? How?
I would say within life, we all have something that we're unhappy about, and we just all have our different dysphorias about how we should look or how we should act, or so I just feel like it's a constant battle. It's never ending, as I would say.
Right. Tati, I can't thank you enough I'm gonna let you go. We haven't even gotten into Tati's dancing and her performance, because Tati is a performer. I'm gonna try to lure her back at another time later to get her. We'll get more space. We'll clear the floor and really be able to do more
dance it on out.
and dance it on out. So we will definitely work on that next. Tati, cannot thank you enough. Please tell everyone where they can catch up with you on social media.
On Twitter, it's official Tati 007. My Facebook is the official Tati, and my Instagram is the official Tati as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and if you're watching us on M&N, thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. You're watching Celebrity Catwalk, and I'm Dana, and this is our guest, Nancy.
Hi, Dana.
Hi. So we're here to tell you about a show that we do here in New York City. It's called the NYC Retail Sales Pet Expo. So, Nancy, it's been about our 7th show coming up.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun working together.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit from your perspective, why the show's important and why it's good for new brands or pet product manufacturers to get involved?
Yeah. First of all, I can't believe it's almost our 7th show. That's crazy.
I know, it's amazing.
April 30th, right?
Yes.
2019, plugging that. But it's really good for brands and for retailers to come, because it's a smaller scale show, and we do that on purpose because we want people that are coming to the show to actually meet the vendors and not be rushing around to try to get to a vendor 2 miles away, like at the big trade shows. So I think it's really important, and you not only develop relationships with the people that are coming, we also have media there, and we have all kinds of pet professionals from New York City and the surrounding areas. So it's a really great launch pad for newer products, not to say we haven't had veterans in the industry as vendors in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a business-to-business trade show. It's a B2B event. It's similar to a global pet expo or a super zoo, just on a much smaller scale. And it's here in New York City. We usually have around 20 vendors.
Yep.
And so it's a great chance, like Nancy said, for new brands to kind of get their feet wet, learn how to work a trade show, learn how to write orders, be in front of the media, do some interviews. But also we've had big brands such as Hearts and a few others that, have been around for a long time,
Yep.
Nulo Pet Food, that, have had not the best experience with distributors, and now they want to get in to the New York City pet market and get in touch with those New York City buyers, which sometimes can be really hard to get a hold of.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that we do that may be different than other shows is we really handhold with the vendors. So when we have a newer vendor, they have a lot of questions about how do we do this? How do I do that? Like our last show, I believe we had a couple vendors that didn't even know what a wholesale sheet was.
Yeah.
So we walk people through, we jump on the phone with them, we really make sure that they are well prepared. It's probably overkill, but we want them to have the best experience. So that's definitely something that we do pretty well, I think.
And just, in addition to the NYC Retail Sales Pet Expo, Nancy, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I've been in the pet industry for about 15 years. I've dabbled in a few different businesses as a serial entrepreneur, as they say, dog training, baking treats, pet sitting, dog walking, all kinds of things. And I also run American Pet Professionals, and we will be 10 years old, which is crazy,
Woohoo!
In 2019. And that is a business networking and multimedia organization for anybody in the pet industry. So I've hosted over 100 networking events. That's how I met Dana. That was a long time ago. We've raised money. We've helped rescues. We have rescue members. You name it, we do it at American Pet Professionals. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so, Nancy and I both have a background in public relations in the pet industry,
Yep.
so we definitely bring that to the table to help out
Yep.
any vendors who are looking for media coverage. We invite media to attend. We also always invite Instagram dogs, which is, new media, basically.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now that it's 2018, it's a new form of media of getting your products in
Yep.
front of those Instagram dogs that have amazing followings of other doggy parents. And
We've had some pretty big name Instagrammers, like with hundreds of thousands of followers, if not more, attend our event. And they're always so gracious by having their dog sit at the vendor booth, taking photos. They Instagram it out. I mean, it's really insane. We also have Pet Age Magazine that has been our media sponsor since the beginning.
Every year.
They have been amazing to us, and we love working with them.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved, if you're a pet product manufacturer, maybe you make doggy boots or rain jackets or music for pets or treats, we invite you to check out our website. And our next show is April 30th, 2019. So definitely save the date. And if you are a retailer and you want to join, it is free to attend. We'd love to have you. You can also RSVP on the website.
We've already had RSVPs coming in for April 30th, 2019, since after our last show. And our website is NYC Retail Sales Pet Expo.
And we have retailers coming from all over. I mean, we usually have a couple regulars coming in from Boston and Connecticut, Long Island, all the 5 boroughs, and then we always have surprise guests that come in from North Carolina, Texas, California,
other countries.
Yeah, international. So it's always fun. And as Nancy said before, we really try to make it special for every vendor. If there's something important for a certain company that they really want to meet, a specific store or maybe a specific media outlet, we really try our best to make sure that they come. And we also, back to the hand-holding concept, we really provide a lot of information every step of the way as far as, what to bring, how to set up. We do a lot of videos. We do Google Hangouts. We offer lots of chances for people to ask questions. So we recommend it. And we have had a lot of happy customers in the past.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of really unsolicited, amazing testimonials from our vendors in the last few years. It's really heartwarming because we know how hard we work. And by the way, I misspoke. It's retailsandsalespetexpo.com.
Excellent.
But yeah, we definitely do a good job. It really means a lot to us. And I love to see a newer vendor at our show, and then next year they're doing the big shows, and they're like, they'll say to us, we wouldn't have done these shows or jumped to do these shows if we didn't come to your show because we were so nervous to get into it. So it's really amazing to see them grow.
Absolutely. So check out the website. We have some early bird specials, but you can RSVP up until April 30th, or you can also register to be a vendor if we still have spots open. And you can also check out Pet Age Magazine to read more about the upcoming event. And we'll be posting on the website different vendors as they sign up. You can also check us out. We have a Facebook group. You can request to join, and we'll add you in there. So you can get up-to-date information on who's coming and which celebrity pets are going to be there and all that good stuff. So definitely check out the website, and we'd love to see you then.
Thank you.
Thanks.